student debt and credit card debt are hindering a lot of home buyers, first-time home buyers as well as second home buyers, third home buyers. Today I'm going to be talking with Frank Smith. Frank is from JBA Wealth Management, and he is also the financial instructor for CSU in Fort Collins. I'm Margaret Hurt. I post new videos every Tuesday all about Loveland and the surrounding area and a little bit about real estate. So be sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. So Frank, take it away. So according to what I've been told, my readings, statistically, student financial debt, is a big issue. Most students have a $500 a month payment. That's a lot.
Right.
So when buying a home, a person's debt to income ratio is something that the banks really look at. And if a person has a $500 a month student loan debt, that can really make a difference in are they able to get the loan or not. So debt to income ratio is figured by a person's debt, versus their monthly gross salary equals their ratio. Anything under 45%, they should be able to get a loan, but a lot of people have debt over 45%. So Frank, these 48 million people that have student debt, how can you help them as a financial advisor?
I think first things first, when you first get out of school, it's really important to not get new cars and things like that. If you can stick with lower your liability, in other words, have less debt, fixed income debt like that, that's really important to you as well. For I think many people out there, it becomes a credit score issue. They ultimately don't go, if you don't go, I go to Credit Karma to look mine up. But there's a number of things you can do, including not using up all the credit on your credit card, things like that will almost immediately help your credit score. And ultimately, if you could get money and pay that down, that would help your credit score boost it almost immediately. Okay. And that would be a really helpful thing. There is sometimes down payment assistance. We looked it up and we'll put the link here locally for what you can look at in Larimer County. But you might be able to get some help. I mean, they might give you up to 3% of whatever the loan value is.
Historically, have you seen those programs work?
I actually haven't been involved in those programs.
Too much?
Yeah, okay. Exactly. But I guess the reason I mention it is every single thing that you could possibly do, you need to look it up. You need to invest a little bit of time because it might help. You never know, and somebody giving you 3% down would be really, really helpful. Right. You can also look at getting a co-borrower when it's all said and done. Sometimes, believe it or not, it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, or just a kind of couple or whatever together.
Let me interrupt you there.
Sure.
That is one thing I've noticed that, a lot of parents are helping their first-time home buyers with a gift. So that's something that you might talk to your lender about if you, are kind of on the edge there. And maybe your parents will gift that to you. There's only a certain percent that they can give to you, but, it's an idea.
We did that. We actually gave $20,000 to each of our kids. And I'm not adopting him, but anyway. So that is one thing that we did. I know.
I was hoping that.
There you go. But you can get a co-signer as well. This can help you along the lines. There are certain student loan protection or forgiveness programs out there. They have had limited success depending on which one you go after, but especially for people who've been out in the field working for public service, like my wife worked for low-income school districts, for instance, for a number of years, it actually makes you eligible to go out and apply to get some help in getting your student loans paid off. You can also look at having it as a percent of income. In other words, not just here's your fixed loan payment, but percent of your discretionary income. And you might lower your payments, and in doing so, create more possible gap that they would loan to you when it's all said and done as well. Go ahead.
Let me interrupt you here. I've heard about the Dave Ramsey's, and what's your call on the Dave Ramsey program?
Honestly, for the most part, he's right.
He's right.
And people done
okay, so there you go.
He is right, yeah. And live like nobody else, so eventually you can live like nobody else. Sometimes you have to get a second job. My son delivers even now for Amazon Flex, and he makes a pretty good money that way. So
I hear pizza deliveries do too pretty well too.
Yeah, they actually pretty much do. You could possibly do that. Your employers is something to consider. When you're looking for employers out there, they actually may have some pretty good. Number of the accounting firms out before it says pay off $10,000 the day you sign. So of your student
there you
debt.
go.
Yeah, so that's really helpful.
Talk to your employers, they
Yep.
might help you.
They really might. You'd be surprised, and it's something you could consider when you're looking at different job opportunities out there. And then finally, lower your student payments by extending your loans with them if you can, or refinancing possibly. The loan rates have crept
The
up
only
on
thing with
that.
doing that, is you're not really decreasing your debt to income ratio. If you're just you're helping your payment,
Right.
but,
I think the
You know.
payment relative to the income, that might be helpful when it's all said and done. And then finally, work with a good mortgage broker. I mean, that's actually pretty helpful. They can coach you through some of these type things. But you're absolutely right. If I drove used cars for many years, I made sure I kept the credit cards as long as I didn't use them, so that my debt to income or possible, loans, if you will, was
don't
limited.
cancel your credit cards.
Seriously.
Only cut them up.
Yeah, exactly, and don't use them, but
Yeah.
that's really helpful. And other than that, I mean, just, it's really a matter of living within your means when it's all said and done. And so the more that you can cut down your expenses and live a life, that's what Dave Ramsey tries to tell you to do.
Right,
Live a
exactly.
life of spending less than you make, then I think your odds increase dramatically in trying to get a first home. And can I make one other statement?
Absolutely.
In research that I've done, 60% of the wealth of individuals when they hit retirement is the equity in their home. So you want to get into a home. You really, really do. It gives you the best chance at a good retirement when it's all said and done.
So if you're interested in retirement planning or financial advice, I've got Frank's information
Yep.
below. If you're looking to buy a new home or sell a new home, my information is below as well. So until next Tuesday, I will see you again, and be sure to call Frank or myself if you have